Good morning. Good morning, Susan. Sorry I am late. I don't know what is going on with my connection in this room, but for some odd reason, my computer would not connect. I kept trying to do it, it just will not connect. I don't know what is going on. It's just one of those days. You know how, like, Alexander is very bad day. Some days I just feel like I have that, an Alexander very bad day. So I hope that I can be heard because I am on my phone. I'm not even gonna mess with the computer anymore. Because I don't know. Sometimes you get frustrated when things aren't going the way they should, or when something that you thought would be the simple part is the, like, what is going wrong? What is going on? And then also was thrown off a little bit because today is kind of, you know, gray outside and it's gonna rain. It's been raining a little bit, just drizzling, not too bad. But I don't know, it's like I remember a few years ago when, what was it, solar eclipse, or no, it wasn't a solar eclipse. I forget what it's called, but everybody was going to see the sun. And my clients at the time said, "Oh, well, Danny, you can watch it with the kids because we've been talking about it, so we really want them to see it." So as we're watching, or as it's just running all day, as it leads up to the time it's going to happen, I was watching all these people just talking about how this was like a miracle and to be a part of it. And it made me realize like the power of the sun. It made me realize like how much when the sun's not out, we're a little down, and how we cannot exist without the sun. And so on gray days, I'm just missing the sun. But then on sunny days, I'm like, get away from me, sun. What you doing out, sun? So it's a mismatch. But I was like, this morning, I want to come on this morning and just do a good morning live. Like, hey, how's everybody doing? How is your morning going? How was your evening last night? Hey, Gone John. Now you're just John, aka Gone John. Hey, how's your day going? But yeah, like I said, I just like, let me come on this morning. Wednesday mornings, I actually, today is the day I reinstate my room for another week. So sometimes on Wednesday, it's really a kind of a down feeling for me because every week that I pay to stay here, I think about how this money could have went towards something else, but at the same time, like toward a place. But at the same time, I'm blessed to even have the a way to have a way. So but I promise you, every Wednesday is kind of a downer. Like, wait a minute, we're still doing this another week. We are going into week three, week three. And I'm not ashamed or embarrassed in any form of the fashion because I could be on the streets, I wouldn't be ashamed if I was. I would just know that's where I was, but I'm not. So I know I'm blessed. But boy, it's a lot of money. I mean, I could have paid. I could have paid in these 3 weeks. I could have paid a down payment on a place and be in my own place. Oh, your sister's in town. Always good to have family. It's another reason why I can't wait to get settled so that I can go and see my son in Texas and not just go for the day, and I can go and see my grandson and meet him. So I can go and visit my brother in Arizona. He's been out there, and I want to go see him. Family is so good. And sometimes our family isn't blood, but it's my family. So I always love family time. I love, like around the holidays when you get together, me and my brother together, I just like comedians. I mean, it's just jokes and laughter and fun. And so I always, when I think of family, I think of moments like that. I think of laughter. I think of enjoying each other. I think of, that's what I think of when I think of the word family. I don't ever think blood. Like, I don't think, oh, family, blood related. I don't think that when I think the word family. But yeah. So I was like, well, let me come on. So uh I usually check in around 10:30 because 11 is checkout. So usually it's done online, and then you just have to give them the card right before and just do it that way. But yeah. So I'm up. Then took Nino out. Then drank a cup of coffee. I'm actually on my second cup of coffee, which I'm gonna regret in a little bit. But I am a wife. Got a couple of errands to run this morning. I have to go get Nino some dog food. Uh, that's about it. I said today I really want to eat some comfort food, so I'm trying to figure out what in my zone do I want as comfort food. I am an emotional eater. Oh, guys, hold on. I'm sorry. But I am an emotional eater. So when my emotions, if it's sad or whatever it may be, I'm either going to eat more or eat less. So I'm an emotional eater, and I'm really trying to curb that. I'm really trying to curb that. While I was in Georgia, I picked back up my eating sweets. And one thing about that sugar is once you start getting into it, it's like, oh, when does it stop? When does it stop? So I'm really trying to cut that back. But I do find myself when I'm going to get like my food for the week or for a couple of days, um, I'm always buying snacks because some days I don't really want to eat food like that. Appetite is just not in that place. So sometimes snacking is how I make it through. So I try to have my like pretzels or just some kind of snack, but I'm usually snacking through. And I've gotten to like in these last few weeks, I really eat one meal in a day, and I probably snack during the day. And I'm trying to get better. I'm trying to put myself in a place where it's like, okay, look, we don't eat because it makes us happy. We don't eat to feel good. We eat to survive. And so I'm trying, just like I can't eat first thing in the morning. I just can't. So I've been up now about 2 hours. I still haven't got an appetite. That's why I'm drinking coffee. I still haven't got my appetite. And then the more my mind is wandering, and worrying or stressing or trying to figure out a bunch of stuff or navigating its way um, to a calm place. Whenever it's doing that, then I definitely don't have an appetite. I can't eat. But like I said, I'm trying to get better with that. Is it bad habits are hard to break. They're hard to break. I mean, and it doesn't mean that you don't want to. The best part is wanting to. So, because once you want to, then that's the start for me. So the fact that I even think about it is like, okay, I'll work on that a little more. Wait, what happened? What happened with John? Good morning, man. Yeah, and it's like so many people go through some of the same things that it's easier when we know we do because then we can help each other like navigate and figure out ways to either see it coming, to know what to do. It's like I said, I try my best to not think about a bunch of things when I'm trying to eat or it's time to eat because there's nothing worse than oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, John. My condolences to your family and prayers to your family at this time of your loss. I'm so sorry to hear that. Oh yeah, that's you see, that's just the thing. Like even when I think about YouTube, it's like I always say it. Like, is there anything going on in you guys' world? Because life just keeps going. It doesn't pause. It doesn't say, "Hey, you know what? I'm gonna wait till next week and do that. I'm gonna wait till next month. You might be a little more ready." Life just happens, and things happen every day. And we need to be able to be here for each other. Like, but if we so caught up in some other stuff, we would never even know because we wouldn't have time for John to let us know, hey, he needs some good vibes sent to him, some energy sent to him, some love sent to him, some prayers sent up for his family, whatever it may be. He may need virtual hugs. I'm sending a million of them to you. Like, really, And so, but yeah, so sorry for your loss. So sorry for your loss and for your auntie, if she had children, her husband, anybody. I'm sorry for your loss. Thank you. Thank you. And you know what, Mary? I had never did crochets before. And then when I was in Georgia, my friend Danielle, same name as me, she said, I think a crochet would look so pretty on you. So she did that crochet I had a few months back. And it looked so nice. And I got such nice compliments on it and everything else. I said, stop being afraid. Because sometimes we're afraid of things because, like for me, like most people, but for me, sudden change or different than what I know throws me off completely, completely. And it's like, oh my goodness, I can't get used to seeing this because I'm used to this. Or I put myself, so for me, I remember I was so about my clothes, how I looked, and everything else that I was the type to buy new clothes just to go to somebody's stuff. That and the fact that I'd rather at one point in my life, I'd rather buy something new than watch. I would watch, but if I had somewhere to go, I'm like, I don't feel like watching. Let me just go get something new. And that was before I started washing clothes when I bought them. Like I literally would think like that. But so I just kept watching them do the crochets. Every time I got a crochet and my sister did it, um, I would just pay attention, and she would tell me like what to do. So this one I actually did myself, and then the next day I did my sister's mom's hair. But even like with her, you have to get used to something you're not used to seeing on yourself, because sometimes it throws you, and we beat our own self up. So I used to be like, oh, my head's too big. Oh, my face is too round. If you put anything else, it's gonna make my face look bigger. It's gonna make my head look bigger. It's gonna make this. I don't even care. Because sometimes we grab the things people have said about us, and even when we said, oh, that didn't bother me, I didn't care, and we throw it back. So people are saying, like, you ever had somebody tell you something and then from forever? No, okay, I'm not going to use an example of you doing it. I'm going to use an example of someone else doing it. You ever told someone something and then after that, every time they mention it, so they're saying, well, does my shirt look fine today? I need to ask you. And you think, I didn't tell you to insult you, but somewhere it insulted you because now every time you refer to something, you look at me like I was the one dissing you. But that comes from, hey, Queen of O'Hare, hey, G5, hey, sis, hey, sis. But it comes from bracing yourself for what people might say. It's like the people who will say stuff like, oh, I'm so fat, blah, blah, blah. Oh, I know I'm so dark. That it's because they want to get it out before someone else can, and I think we all do that to ourselves. So I was so afraid of change. It was like, keep it simple for me, keep it in braids, keep it with a little part in the middle and flat like a wrap, keep it very simple. But even when my hair was breaking out and I wanted to cut it off, I was like, short hair is not for me. So that's what made me keep the middle because I was like, I got to have something longer. But my hair was so broken out, guys, that when I cut it, I had bangs in the front and I had shaved the sides and the back, but my ponytail was about this long. And so I kid you not. So what I would do is I would just use because I had the front was so full and up here. Because let me tell you something. I had hair all right here. What made me push it back was because, like I said, I had shaved my sides, and because they were bald, it made my hair look off balance. So I had to push it like it was a taper. Like I had my hair cut all the way around. But when I had full hair, I would just put two French braids in my hair. And then there'd be times when people like, oh, your hair's so cute. And I'd be like, what? I'm just trying to make it. Like I have no clue. And so it's been a process of growing my hair back. You know what I mean? But stress. I kid you all not. 3 kids in high school at the same time, dealing with the world, dealing with the finances. And we weren't even in a pandemic, but it was just very stressful. Kids breaking curfew, or kids deciding that this teacher wasn't what they needed, so they weren't going to the class anymore. Whatever shit you go through with a teenager, I was going through it with my teenagers, and it would seem like as soon as you got one in line, here go the other one. Say, let me step up off the course. It did sometimes you had 2 of them, 2 of the 3. And here's what I'm telling you. When I look back at my teenagers, most of the things I went through, most parents are going to go through with teenagers, no matter what race they are, whatever. And it could have been so much worse. But when I was going through it, I'm telling you guys, every morning I woke up and I could hear it. Born 1979 in Los Angeles, California. You know, an episode of Snapped, and it began with me. It began with me. Hey, Dana. Hey, sis. Good morning. Are you at work? Enjoy work. Enjoy work. I'm just sitting here, you know, running my mouth. Like I said, that's why it was just good morning, because I didn't know what I wanted to talk about. I just wanted to come talk to you guys. You just come see how you were doing. Get some of that good energy that hits the room every time we come together. Every time we come together, it hits the room. Every time we come together, I think to myself that right feels so much better than wrong. You know what I mean? It just feels much better. I tell people all the time, it's one thing to say I want to be better, and it's another thing to do better, and it's another thing to see how that better is bettering you. You know what I mean? Like when I come on here, me telling y'all I want to do better, and that I came from the dark and I'm pushing into the light, and I don't gain anything by just saying that. I don't. I just don't. Oh, I used to think, oh, I just hope my friends say things like, you know, she was with my friend. Because I'm telling you that it was days. I remember, like I told you, I would call my kids, be like, all right, I'm stopping at the store. I'll be home about 20 minutes. You need anything, they name and stuff. And I'll be pulling up outside, right? Then I come in the house and they sneaking their friends out. They've been in there. And you could, as soon as I pull up, I got a big old screen TV hanging in my room, in my house. I can see the TV playing video games. I'm seeing the people running toward my back door to get out. And I used to tell my kids all the time, like, wouldn't it be easier just to call me and say, hey, could Junebug and them come over and play the game? But instead, what you do is you invite people over. You haven't done your chores. Now you got people up in my house. Y'all made dishes in my dishes. You know what I mean? Sink full of dishes. I got to walk in and come in. Now I got to come in, y'all. Before you can say hello, I got to come in like a sheriff. I got to come in like, you know what I mean? Like I'm raiding a prison. I said, now I got to be the bad guy. You know, I got to be the bad guy. And I'll never forget when my kids were uh, a freshman and sophomore in the eighth grade. I remember my youngest two kids' dad would pick them up and take them to school and have these long, great talks with them about how, you know, I guess, oh, your mama just snapping because of this. And I'm snapping because I got to deal all the time. I have to be the good cop, the bad cop. I have to be I have to be the prosecutor. I have to be the nurse. I have to be the preacher. I have to be the cook. I have to be the chauffeur. I have to I have to be the therapist. I have to be everything. And in all these things I'm being, I'm only seeing this one thing, not understanding them. That's the only way they see me. So for them, it's like, oh, she just doesn't understand. It's not like when she was young. It's not this. It's not that. It's not this. I remember once when my son was 20 and he was telling me about being 20. I said, son, when I was 20, I was getting ready to have my third child. While you're sitting here talking to me, while you're sitting here telling me, so what you're fighting and what I'm fighting are two different things. We weren't in the same seat. Thank God. Thank God. But yes, parenting is yes. Oh, Queen of O'Hare, I kid you not. And then here's the thing. He was seeming like Saint whoever, because I mean, he'd pick them up. They stopping at Dunkin' Donuts or Starbucks. He's buying frappuccinos in the morning, and it seems so sweet. And then they're saying to me some mornings when he did, and they take the bus like, you got five? No, that's $5. You got $5 so I could get? Whoa, I don't. I don't. I can't sponsor that habit 3 times a day. I can't. I really can't. And besides, no one's gonna cut off my cup of Joe. so that you all can have a cup of whipped cream with, oh no, you don't need that much sugar before school. But yes, teenagers, yes. And then I would always have people who had their kids weren't teenagers yet, or they were just speaking on them being a teenager. But let me tell you something, there's a big difference between the teenager you were. Now, what you may see later is what you might have caused to people, or where you may have been a smart mouth teenager, or where you may have been a rebellious teenager. You'll see that part of it, but it's a big difference when someone's giving it to you. Not you're the one giving it to your parents, you're getting it. You're getting it. I mean, you know how teenagers are? They're answering a question before you finish, and they think their answer is so right, but if they would have listened to the whole question, they would have known that answer didn't fit. It didn't fit because it wasn't the question. Teenagers know everything. They know everything. And then sometimes they love to tell you what some other teenager told them. And you're like, wait, so that counts as official? Wait, their 14 years on this earth makes them official, but my 30 something years on this earth means nothing to you? I can't. And some days I find myself like going back and forth, like, pull yourself out of this one. Why are you arguing this one with them? And then I even had a time where I had a whole, this is your day to do the dishes. This is such and such. We're going to check it off. But you don't do it, you're going to have that day and the next day. My kids will sometimes like switch up with each other. And then, so I don't know anything about your switch up. I don't know that you told your sister to wash the dishes on your day. And then tomorrow you're going to take her day. So the next day I'm looking at whose day it is. And then they'll let you play it. I'm going off. Oh, it's your day and you're not doing nothing. And I have nothing. Because once again, I got to always be the bad guy. You know? Always. And my kids say, yeah, my mama go off in a minute. No, she won't. She won't. She goes off when you keep playing with me. He wanted his friend. My kids would be famous for it. Oh, if you don't believe me, call my friend. I'm gonna call another liar. I'm gonna call another kid. Oh no, 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 no. I will not. I never take the cosign. No, 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 no. Kids work fast for each other. They won't even know I'm supposed to lie for you. And as soon as they hear your mama's voice, whatever he said, that's what happened. Yes, if he said we jumped off the moon, we did. We jumped off the moon. Yes, ma'am. And I said to you with manners. Yes, ma'am. And I started learning some of the kids that came around you with the most manners. Who was the kids you need a fingerprint when they came in? I need your whole profile. Who's your mama? What's her name? Give me you know what? I need your family tree. Come on. I need to know who all it is. Who's your grandfather? I don't care if he's living. I need to know who's your great grandfather. Look these people up. They are so smart. And kids kill me because when my kids were teenagers, you'd be telling a story like, oh, I remember when Michael Jackson had a concert and all these people were stampeded because they were so excited to see Mike. And then they Googling it, like you making it up. And they're like, oh, that was 1983. You'd be like, I didn't ask what year it was. I was telling you a story. Can we just have a conversation? But then they'll tell you some wild stuff like, did you know that George Bush had flew to Mars? And you thinking, no, he didn't. When was he an astronaut? And they standing on it. Say, did Google tell you that? Because if it's on Google, they be like, it's facts. Be like, no, 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 Booney. All of it isn't. All of it is. And some of it is just the gossip that keeps going round and round and round and round. And now it's in, search engine. Yes, they are usually the one who you're like, stay around Sarah. She's so sweet. Sarah's always got such manners. I mean, she curtsies. She's the best. I mean, whenever I see her, I'm like, stay with Sarah. And your kid kind of looking at you sideways, like, Sarah, the queen of trouble. And you pumping them to Sarah. Stay with Sarah. Hold on, matter of fact, let me call Sarah and tell her to come get you. Let me get you with Sarah because she's one of the best. No, no, no. Sarah is trouble. Sarah is the ringleader of the gang. Say, little Bobby, who you think is so sweet, he take out your garbage without you asking, and he come in and tell your son, clean your room. Your mama shouldn't have to tell you that. You're like, oh, I just love him. I just love little Larry. He is just a da 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 dee 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 da 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 dee. And you go up to the school one day and they're like, and then there's a boy named Little Larry. And he be like, wait, Little Larry? Not the Little Larry who always takes out my trash. Not the Little Larry who says, yes, ma'am, yes, sir. Not that Little Larry. They're like, oh, yeah, that's the Little Larry. Right. And then you find out about Sarah. You're like, oh, my God. Oh, my God. Sarah, you mad that you fell for the shit, Sarah. I was like, damn. No wonder these kids be getting over on each other because they just got over on me. She fine. Don't get me started. Don't get me started. But it's real, though. It's real out there. I mean, but kids are worse than adults with it. Because, see, kids will come and sell somebody. So, I mean, they come in like a car salesman. Hey, Mom, I got this friend, and, you know, they're going to get into 6 different colleges. You know, they've been accepted already. They're only freshmen. They've been accepted already to 6 different colleges. You know, they're on Sunday. They're always with their grandma, right at the nursing home, helping every grandma through the building. You know, they want me to go volunteer with them on a Sunday, but I was like, I don't know. You know, should I, Mom? What do you think? And I'm thinking, you know what I tell them? Oh, that sounds like fun. Why don't we volunteer together? I love to do stuff like that. And they, because they were trying to sell me somebody. You know, I stopped you right in your tracks. Like, wait a minute, when it's too good to be true, it usually is. It usually is. Like when somebody call you, hey, just go to the store, they're giving away free this. Nah, I'm sure there's something else to it. I'm sure I'm just not walking in the store and they just pass me bags of free stuff. Yeah, I know the kids, please. And I know some of the kids will be at my house and be so good, so respectful. Then one day I'm bopping down the street or walking down the street, and I'm like, wait a minute, is that little Junebug? Is that little Junebug throwing up cake? Look at that. But I'm going to stop him right on the street. You little mother, what is you doing? I stopped in your tracks. Say, hold on, wait. Look, I'm going to tell y'all a true story. I can't even make this up. So one of the little shorties I know, one day, this is a true story. I can't even make it up. I might even say I'm bad in it. But hey, don't judge me. I'm just being real. We were going to get some green. And we pull up. And you see somebody and think, that kind of look like somebody. No, but he kept ducking and dodging through the people, spinning up into the group. So the next time we go, I go into the store that's right by it. I go into the store. When I go into the store, you know how kids trying to keep dodging you, like, man, it's that same person that was dodging me last time. I'm gonna get up and see who it is. Man, it was somebody I know's little brother. I got real quick with him. Hey, why don't you go with me, little Scotty? Because I'm not gonna bust you out too much, but I do want you to do better. You know what I mean? I don't care if I'm sitting here buying green from these people. I don't want you out here like that. Like, and that's what I told him. Like, hey, if your mama pull up or see you out here, you embarrassing her name, she go to work every day. Every day. You don't have to be out here. It's somebody out here because they have to be out here. This going to decide if they eat tonight. You don't have that problem. You just out here to fit in. But you're standing out. And not in a good way, So I'm all about the change. Hey, JJ. Happy belated birthday. Did you have a good birthday? Did you bring it in like it was 1999? Did you enjoy yourself? I tell my kids, I know I'm getting old because these days just making it to another birthday is a victory. You know what I mean? Making it is the victory. Because I'm like, this got to be the next year got to be the year. This is my year. It's getting greater later. It's got to be this year. So I just love a birthday. And I definitely celebrate life for everybody because I know that some people, we celebrate their birthday just celebrating them the day they were born, but they're no longer with us. So when we here, we salute, we raise glasses, we give cheers, we give love, we give toast. Happy birthday. We celebrate you, sis. But yeah, teenagers, don't get me started. Don't get me started. Because I'm telling y'all, I wasn't even watching Loved after lockup when them teenagers driving me crazy. I was addicted to the ID channel. I was watching Snap, Deadly Women. I can't lie. Deadly Women, Snapped. How to Get Away with Murder. Say, where is your mind going, Danny? Where is it going? This is going somewhere else. Because those kids, they were testing my patience. They were testing my gangster. They were, I mean, it's teenagers. You know how you setting boundaries up for your kids when they're young? When they're teenagers, they setting boundaries up for you. They want to see how far will you go? How far will you let this go? How far can they go? How far, how far is too far? And some of them just don't get it. You just think, you ever been sitting like right now, because I don't have teenagers, I can actually see it from the outside and I can see myself. So I can see where that would have annoyed me, but I can see now because I'm removed from it how to win by not letting it get under my skin. So sometimes you watch teenagers and you're like, ooh, they are pushing it. Ooh, they are asking for it. Ooh, they are pulling. It's tug of war. They pulling. But I got more slick ones for them these days. I said, dang, I needed to be faster back in the day. But see, I'm older, I'm wiser. Oh, and then the arguing, the bickering, the fighting, the that's mine, that's not yours. The you had my shoes, remember? And oh my God. I tell my kids, just like I tell you don't borrow people's stuff and clothing, please stop taking each other's. Please just stop because it becomes too much. Oh, well, he had my sweater last year. Say last year? Yes, and he got a stain I can't get off of it on. Now he mad because I lost his shoes. Wait, I lost his shoes because my kids, my sons, were the type who it didn't matter what it cost. You'd say, oh, well, why don't you put on that such and such? I had left it in somebody's car. I left it at the gym. I left it at the pool. I said, I wish you'd leave it at your job because the way you losing stuff, it's like you paying for it. And I don't care who's paying for it. You not. Kids will get to a smart age. Well, Bluzzy Bling bought it. Well, you didn't. So the thing is, you didn't. You didn't pay it for it. Yes, with that bickering, that arguing, even when they were young, before teenagers. I remember telling people like, oh, people said, let's go on a road trip. Let's drive to Louisiana. I go, oh, with these kids. Oh, so they can argue, ask 100 times, are we there yet? Ask 100 times where we going, and you done told them 150 times where you going. Ask you 150 times, can we stop here? Oh, is that a McDonald's? Oh, mama, did you see that? Did you see that horse? Did you see a cow? Hey, whose cows are those? Not a road trip. But road trips was how we did it. One, because I was afraid of airplanes, and two, just as a single woman with 3 children, flights round trip is just not a cheap thing. So it's like, oh, we could spend more money at the place that we're going to, and so road trips become, we're gonna stop in different places. So if we come through here, we might stop and see the sights in there, spend a little time. That's what I like about a road trip. But dealing with the kids, I remember my kids, if you stopped at a hotel, better had a pool. But then if you stopped at a hotel and had an outside pool and it was raining, they were mad at you like you control the weather. I controlled it. I said, you know what, we're gonna be at this hotel for 2 days and it's gonna rain both days. No, I don't control it. I don't. So you all believe I control the weather, but you don't believe I can control what's going on in here. So you guys give me no credit while giving me all the credit in the world. And sometimes, even when my kids in their young 20s, sometimes I hear a story they've told someone, I think to myself, that's not how it happened. But I also remember that is, how they perceived it. So they're talking about when they were younger and they're telling it still from their perception. And you're like, nope, didn't go down. But right now, I'm going to give you that. I'm going to give you that because I can understand how you saw it that way. I could. I saw when I was young that my dad was like Superman. He did all these great things for me, and that's because what I could remember in my mind was when I lived with my dad from birth till I was a couple of years old, but I don't remember those because I was too young. And so when I do remember seeing him when I was a child, I remember him always getting us something, always having candy. I remember those things. So to me, when that clicked in my mind as a youngster, by the time I'm 12, 13, and he's gone. To me, he was the best parent ever. Can't nobody tell me how wrong he was because he was right. Can't nobody tell me he wasn't there because he was there. And then as I got older, I realized that it was grabbing that piece and making him a superhero. You know what I mean? So I understand when you're young how you saw it as a kid. Even when you're a young adult, you think you really understand it. And you don't. Just like myself, I thought I understood what my mom was doing, and I saw her away until I really saw her. And when I really saw her, not only did I realize that she was better than what I ever had thought, she was better than anything I ever thought, and she wasn't the things I had made her in my mind because I was fighting myself and because I was using your child perceptions as I got older. And so once I did, but you have to see that. And some of us see it when it's too late. Some of us see it when it's too late. And I'm just thankful to have seen it now so I can enjoy every day with my mom and enjoy the fact that being a mother is not easy. Oh my goodness. It's not easy. Raising a person is not an easy job. Anyone telling you it's easy isn't doing it because it's not easy. It takes a lot of strength, a lot of patience. I mean, you almost have to have the patience of Mother Teresa to raise children. Okay? You really do. And even when sometimes you're beating yourself up because you just didn't feel you were as patient as you should have been and you reacted before you should have reacted. But the thing is, because we are human, even with my children, my earphone just fell out. Even with my children, there were times when I would say to myself, like, say nothing right now because I'm just upset and I am liable to lose my marbles. And there were times, you know what I mean, because of how I speak, how I think, and how in the place I was in, where you found yourself talking to your kids like homies. That's how sometimes I'm talking to them like, this is my buddy, this is my whole child. Because then I got into a place when my kids were probably going into junior high. I got into a place where I started feeling bad about things as a parent I couldn't do. So then I started doing what a lot of parents do, whether they admit it or not. And that's giving them their way because it made me feel like at least I was giving them something they wanted for the things I couldn't do. And that was up. That was too much power. That was, oh my goodness, you can, oh, baby. Don't give no teenagers that kind of power. Because you talk about that take an inch, give them an inch, they'll take a mile. Oh, yes. Oh, baby, they taking the whole doggone highway. They're taking the whole roads all through your city. I mean, you say, what? I just said you could stay out 30 minutes later. Now, every day you staying out 45 minutes later. And my kids will do that. I'm telling them, well, when you get to here, we'll change your curfew. And it's all about coming in on time and we'll do this. But I don't feel what you need to do this. And so every time their curfew would come, here came an excuse. Oh, my phone just died. The bus running late. The game lasted, went to an extra quarter. The president just walked through the building, so we all want to stand and get a picture. But hold on, I can't get a picture. My camera full. I gotta make some room. And I used to tell my kids when they would call, and kids so bad with it that if they had to be in at 9, they would call me at 8:51. Hey, mommy, I'm just finishing up eating. I'm 5 minutes away, so I'll be about 5 minutes late. They 30 minutes late. And I would always tell them, there's no way at 5 minutes before I was gonna come in, I knew I was gonna be late. I knew I was gonna be late when I walked into that place and knew that as I ordered this food, it was 5 minutes before I had to be home, and I'm 5 minutes away from home. And so, and so it was just a tug of war. Just you say up, they say down. I say left, they say right. I say, you know what I mean? I say jump, they say skip. I say, what? What? Yes, it's the hardest job you'll ever have. And the second hardest one is having a husband. No, I'm just playing. I just play it. With those kids. Every parent, every person, every part, every hand that went into raising a child, I salute you. I really do, because it takes a lot, and it takes a village. It definitely takes a village. That's the one thing I've learned. It takes a village. Oh yeah, he's looking at me, and then I would say, "Well, you have to be looking at him to know he's looking at you." I just told my buddy that the other day on the bus. He said, "Man, that dude just kept staring at me." I said, "Well, you must have been staring too." Because the only way I know somebody's staring at me is when I'm staring at them. If I look over and I say, "Oh, they was looking at me," because staring meant they still were doing it. But for me to know, I'd have to give a stare at them for a second. You know what I mean? Like, what? And my kids, stop looking at me. That's what they tell each other in the backseat. Don't look at me. Okay, first of all, you guys are so close to each other that you're touching arms while you're sitting next to each other. It's going to be kind of hard for her not to glance at you if she looks out the window. Or that would be another fight. If all three of them were getting in the back seat, it would be a fight on who gets a window. So then we had to have things like, okay, when we get out the car, when we get back in, we're gonna rotate it. We're gonna rotate it. You were at the window this time, then next time you're at the window. And there's always a kid who's like, well, he got 2 times at the window. Oh my goodness, I'm just trying to rotate. Rotate. Please, you guys are making this more difficult than it has to be. It's a window. We can all look out of it. Look out. I used to look out the front window then. Just look at any of these windows in the car. There's 6 windows in this car. Now they don't all open, but look out one of them, please. Please do something. Close your eyes. And imagine you're at the window. Say, I'm gonna roll all the windows down. Everybody close your eyes and just imagine you sitting next to one. Shoot. Because y'all about to drive me right. Y'all about to drive me right over here to this hospital. And I'm talking the men's hospital. Y'all about to take me right to the car. Skirt. And then you have your regular worries that you just start worrying about as time goes on. Like when I was young and I thought about having kids, I always said, "Oh, I want boys because I don't want to ever have to worry about something happening to my daughter. I don't ever want to have to deal with PMS with her. I don't ever want to have to deal with her being heartbroken. I don't want to ever have to worry about everybody who could hurt her. And that be my biggest stress. And boys would just be so much more simple. You know, they're just easy. They just do this and have them in some sports. And it's going to be this. Oh, my goodness. But then the boys get older and my worries were more like everything for them. I worried about other young men with them. I worried about girls, lying on them or lying to them about a baby. I worried about the police. I worried about being on the streets, driving down the streets, and someone thinking my son, when he was 11, was like 16 because he was so tall. And I worried and I worried. And I said, wait a minute, I thought boys were supposed to be the easy part. I worried about if they had a child too young and they not only weren't ready to be the young man they're supposed to be at this time, but a father. You know what I mean? Just I worried and I worried and I worried and I worried. I said, wait a minute, I thought the boys were supposed to make it less stress. And then my daughter ended up being the most, almost like it was false on a child because in reality, she was the smoothest one. We probably had our rough, tough time, like when she was 15, 16. And I think that was more of her finding herself and that. But other than that, she was like an angel. She was like a saint. She was false advertisement of children and teenagers. But those boys, woo, those boys, those young men, those young men. Yes, it is. And you need to salute and man, I salute all parents. It's not easy because here's the hardest part for me in being a parent. The hardest part was still being a parent when I was weak, when I was down, when I was so stressed, when I did not know how we were gonna make it, when I did not know how I was gonna make it, when I may have lost a job, when the job didn't pay enough, when them holidays, man, these were hard times. It is so hard because sometimes you're doing the best you can. You just feel like it's not good enough because when your kids are young, they're looking at all this stuff that glitters and they don't understand that it is not gold. It just glitters. And you don't want to explain to them like, man, bump them and all the stuff they have. You want them to be humble and you want them to understand and appreciate what they have and not what they don't have. And if there's things that they don't have, then they need to set places and make ways so that they can get them. And I'm talking about ways that you can keep them. And so, like I said, the hardest part, and I'm thankful for even being able to front it sometimes, and sometimes you can't. was trying to be okay when I wasn't. That was very hard. That was very hard. I remember before I had my surgery, well, one of my surgeries, and my kids, some days my stomach, but it would feel like my back. I had a cyst and I didn't know, and my back would hurt so bad. And my youngest son, I kid you not, my youngest son would come and massage my back. And he had these little bitty hands. He was maybe about 5 at the time. And really, his massage, the only son would notice because I would try so hard as a mom to pretend like I wasn't in pain. And he would come over and he would rub my back. And I would think, I have to be strong when I'm not. So it would be days, even when I would think, you probably need to go to the doctor. And I would think, but who has my kids? And so even if I knew family, I just didn't want to leave them. And so it was just pretending like you were okay, pretending like I was okay. I remember that. And I remember they would go to sleep and I would be so down because I would be so worried about my health, but then so worried about leaving them and not being there for them. And when you think about it now, it's like, well, hey, if you don't take care of your health, you can't be there for them. But those type of things would stress me. Or when I had a good job, 401k, all kind of things, stock, all this stuff. When I left that job because things going on, I remember thinking, as I drove home from the job, I remember thinking to myself, this was a good decision because what's going on there. But this was a bad decision as a mother. Like, and then I just felt terrible. There was no take backs though. You had did it already. And I remember coming home, and for a few weeks, I didn't even tell my kids I didn't work because they would be so excited. I remember them coming to my job one day and just being like so proud of me. And I was thinking to myself, like, okay, but they were. And thinking of that would make me not want to tell them that I, had left. And because kids don't understand when it's an adult reason you leave something, so, uh, you know. But I remember being a parent. I remember how hard it was, the stress. I remember the days you you barely could sleep at night, but in the morning you woke up like the smiling and laughing or tickling people and being there, or being stressed on Christmas Eve, all the way up to Christmas Eve about, did I do enough? I wish I could have done more. But then waking up and trying to make it a very special day for them, but being so stressed about what I couldn't do that I couldn't even enjoy the moments like I really should have. I think back on that. I think back on that. So yeah, parents, and I salute you all. I salute them all. The good ones, the bad ones. I salute you all because even in the bad ones, it'll show someone how not to be. But it can remind you how easy you could be that too. You could have been that parent too. Yeah, we all make mistakes. That's how we learn. That is how we learn. G5, it is not an easy job. It's just, like I said, it is. It's not. It's not an easy job. It's not a job that comes with a handbook. And each child is different. You could have gave birth to all of them, had the same mother, same father, and each child is different. Each child is different. Their needs from you are different. Their needs for themselves are different. Who they are different. It's just a fact. It's just a fact. And to all the parents of multiple children, it's even harder. It's even harder because what worked here might not work there. Just might not, you know. And then when you have other children, the younger ones are always looking at what the older ones did to see, because now they setting their own boundaries for what's for them. Now they're setting theirs up. And as time goes on, especially when you have kids in different age brackets, I'm going to be a different parent, because I've learned some things. You know what I mean? I picked up some new tips. I picked up some new tricks. I picked up some new, parenting values. I picked up some steps off of you guys. Google. I picked up some Google tips because we Google too. Sorry guys. Sometimes I talk fast and I have to catch myself because the words almost blur together. So Oh, this eye. Oh, this eye. Hey, Terry Lynn. Hey, sis. I actually this morning was going to send you a message, but I said, wait a minute, Terry Lynn might be getting her rest days. I know you said sometimes you just take your rest. You know what? When that body needs rest, I want it to rest. Hey, D. Hey, sis. Good morning. We talking parenting, guys. We talking parenting. We talking teenagers. Yay. We just talking, that and how when my kids were in high school and I had 3 in high school at one time, how I could see myself on an episode of Snapped. Every day I woke up and I could hear it playing. Born 1979, Los Angeles, California. I could hear it, guys. I'm telling you. And it would have been Snap, the Mother's Edition. Snap, the Mother's Edition. Now, I'm not talking about taking the kid's life. I'm talking about she just snapped. I mean, she went ham. She lost it. And I would have started the whole era of Snap, the Mother's Edition. You know what I mean? And there'd been all these mothers on my season with teenagers snapping. And I used to tell people I don't play so much with teenagers. I won't play with yours. And I would check yours and call the parents. Hey, little Sally Sue was just over here. I'm just letting you know. I checked them right at the front door. I checked them. I'ma love them and check them. And to me, if you love them, you better check them. You better set them right. Do it with love. But yeah, I'm telling you, teenagers, if you not only did my hair fall out, like I said, just a lot of things changed about me during those years. Where when they were young, I used to think, oh, I can't wait till I don't need a babysitter. I can't wait till the kids to be home alone. They became teenagers, y'all. Like, I wouldn't leave these mofos home alone. Home alone? Are you crazy? Please, in my kids' teenage years, I barely worked past 4 o'clock because leave them home alone. I'd rather leave Macaulay Culkin home alone. When he was a little boy, you see, he did good. He went to the grocery store. Please, my kids. I went out of town once, and my kids were with him, though. My boyfriend was there at the time. I went out of town. I made meals. I meal prepped for everybody because everybody become handicapped. Then I had junk and everything else in there. 2 days after I was gone, they called me and said, it's nothing to eat here. I said, there's nothing to eat. I made meals. I bought pizza rolls and all the little junk people throw together. How's there nothing to eat? See, because you know why? They done ate all the junk and everything they wanted to. And now it's like, well, open that refrigerator and look, there's meals in there. Well, I don't know which one is for today. Whichever one you pull out. I don't know. My kids will call me and say, hey, do we still have some peanut butter cookies in the cabinet? I'm like, I know they aren't calling me from someplace else to ask me what's in the house. And then sometimes, this how you know that you taking care of the whole house. Somebody will call you like, look, go in the kitchen. Go in the cabinet to your left. I know you're looking in the one to your right. Go into the one and to your left. Look on the second shelf. Right behind that. Go behind the salt. It's right there. And then you're thinking while I'm telling them, like, how can I visualize everything that's in there? And you calling me and you standing right there. And they say, oh, it is right there, Mom. How'd you know? Because my kids don't look. You say it's in the refrigerator, they just open the refrigerator and stare at it. I don't see it. You're not looking. Unless it's going to jump up and say, hey, here I am. I'm right here. It's me, mayonnaise. You looking for it? Right here. No, it's not. That's my kid. I don't know about anybody else's teenagers. That's mine. That's what mine would do. Mine would have typed that I have a hoverboard. It's mine. I come home, my hoverboard gone. And then they say, well, it's a hoverboard. It's my hoverboard. Yes, you're telling them exactly where it is. And you're like, okay, I got to write a map out. They never can find it. Never. And then my kids, here's something, I don't know if anybody else had this. My kids would take your charger all the time. You scared to leave it out, you hiding it, you putting marks on it so in case somebody get it, you know where it is. But then when your charger missing, every time you need a charger, they busy with it. Oh, my phone's dead. I'm at 5%. Say what? Say, is he leaving with his charger with him? I can't believe this. You done took 27 of my chargers. The reason I don't have a charger is one of y'all done took mine. Oh, you have a doctor's appointment today? Hold on, what did I miss? Oh, she graduates today. Congrats. Oh, Friday. Oh, I know you're excited. That's because, once again, y'all, when we talk about as a parent, I tell people all the time, when your kids don't succeed in anything, we're going to take the blame. And when they make it, we don't even, it's not even that we take the glory for it, but we can breathe. It's like wait and exhale. There's a breath you can take, that there's something that you made it through. And I'm just proud of you. And I'm just so elated that you did it. That you did it. And it's like, oh my God, I can't. Hey, Sassy Nerd Girl. Hey, sis. But it's that feeling like, and then you feel like the biggest, like, kids, what you want to see is them succeed. When you have kids, you don't want them to hurt where you hurt. You don't want those things. So as a parent, that's what I said. I salute all parents. Every freaking I want to say effing so bad. I'm trying to cut it, maybe I'm trying to cut down to saying it maybe 20 times a day instead of 100 times a day. But don't judge me. But anyway, you do. And even as a parent, sometimes you beat yourself up when they're making it, because you think like, but I don't want them to ever, because I'm not in a place I feel I should be. I don't even want them there. If I even think, I don't care if I could afford to cover it or anything else. If I think of my children just figuring out life when I did that, makes me sad. And so then it makes me sad thinking about my mom worrying about me, because when you're a parent, it doesn't stop. So I think about her worrying about me, and if I would find my place in my space, if I would let my mental take over me, if I would, and I know that when she was worrying, that's stressing her. And I'm glad to, so even when I feel a little down, I just don't even want to be down, because I want her to know I'm okay. That's all you want to know. You want to know that when you're gone, they're okay. I tell people it's not the preparation of me being here that I'm preparing for. I'm preparing you for the preparation of life. In life. And one thing I know about it is it get real cold outside in this here world. And I wish that when I had my children, I wasn't so afraid of the wrongs of the world and the injustices of the world, that I didn't spend so much time pumping them with all the wrong. Oh, be careful, don't trust nobody. Don't think that's don't. And because sometimes I look at them and I think to myself that is going to put something on you that's going to make you not receive the things that life really has out there for you. But you don't, you know better, you do better. And being a parent, being a mother has made me a better person. Hey there, Tina. Hey, sis. Yes. And even with that, like with grandchildren, like, so now when you have grandchildren, there's a new weight on you, because now it's like I'm supposed to be even better than I was as a parent, because this is my second time around the track. This is my second time taking the test. Yep. It does take a while for those to heal. It does. It does. It's so funny. I thought that when I had the surgeries with the little incisions where they do the three cuts and go in that way, what they call that? Forget what that's called. Is that laparoscopic? Because I have the three cuts right here on my sides, and I had a surgery like that, and I thought that would be easy. It was an easier healing on tearing through the muscles, because when I had my stomach cut open, that's a harder heal, because they completely have to open those muscles up and everything else. But I feel like even to this day that part where you touch it still feels a little. It doesn't hurt or anything like that, but it's just I don't know. It was a different heel, and and our bounce back ain't the same no more, y'all. I'm telling y'all, when I was young, I'd have a surgery next day. I'm outside, barely could move, still bleeding in my incision, and I'm outside kicking the bobo, walking, riding, driving. You know what I mean? These days, please, I catch a cough and I'm out. I'm out for about a week, guys. I'm off. And they're like, you just sneezed. My healing time is a little different. My healing time is a little it's slowed down on me. My bounce back ain't the same. Just like, hey, y'all know how I used to be able to kick it 2-3 days in a row and get no sleep. You had 1 cup of coffee to keep you up for 3 days. Now, if you keep me up for 3 days, I'm gonna be down for 7. Baby, let me tell y'all something. I used to have to be at work at 4 in the morning, and some days I was still up until it's time for work. And went to work, did the whole shift, didn't slack, didn't take a nap, didn't do nothing. Drank a whole bunch of Coca-Cola. I ain't gonna even lie to you. Drank more pop than you possibly drink in your week that same day, but don't judge me. But did my job, made it through, acted a fool, you know what I mean? Not no more. Not no more. Let me go the whole night without sleeping, and somebody can be like, good morning. I'm like, what's so good about it? I still feel like it's last night. I'm getting old, y'all. I'm getting old. Hey, Sophie, what's up? Good morning, sis. How are you doing today? Let me see. What you say, grandchildren are? They are. And then grandchildren, I don't know, is it just me? My grandchildren make me realize that had I not have ever been here and had those children, I wouldn't have those grandchildren. So even if you think, had I not had raised my children or had them here, they wouldn't have met this person to lead them to there. It's all you. It's all you. You are the lead. You are the head. And it's like, wait a minute, my whole life I just wanted to be the head of something. I am, and I'm sitting and I gotta keep the crown for real. Like no other. You're Greek. Wait, what? What? I just saw I'm Greek. And then it made me want to gyro. Now, don't you start. Y'all know how now. I'm talking about how I'm an emotional eater, but I'm a foodie at the same time. Oh, and there's nothing like, see, one thing I love about babies, because they can feel energy and they can really feel who you are. And so when they are just so excited to see you and they reach for you and they smile at you and their eyes light up to you, like it melts my soul. Because I know that you feel my real energy. You don't feel what I'm protecting myself from. You don't feel my hurt. You don't feel my wrongs. You don't feel my judgment on myself or the judgment that people have on me. You just feel me. You feel me the real way. Oh, like animals do. They feel you the real way. Yeah, animals are like, hey, I know your punk butt. Look, I know your punk butt had one too many drinks last night, but I like you. I know you ain't buy that dog food that I really wanted, but I understand. I know I know you go to work every day and I miss you so much. But man, it's nothing like when you come home. That's what my dogs make me feel like, at least. But yeah. You're an honorary Greek. Now you're gonna get some good eating. We have out here in Chicago a Greek town. Now let me tell you something, boy. Before the pandemic, in Greek town, some of the oh my goodness, chicken gyros, however you want to pronounce them. I call them flat out gyros. Man. Then they had this little chicken pita sandwich. But a lot of like the places in Greek town that I messed with since I was young, a lot of those places during the pandemic, they're down. They went down. And it's sad. It's sad. Oh yeah, then you know, Tina. Tina. You already know. You already know. Like, it stayed since I was young, man. Please. That's why even when I do Greektown now, I'm like, oh my God, I feel like I'm in a whole new place. You know? Give me back Greektown. Ooh, Tina, Tina. You know I love to hear that. Oh yes. My big fat Greek wedding. I'm trying to think. Something I was about to say about my big fat Greek wedding. I completely forgot. Dang it. But it was something about one of those restaurants. Dang it. Don't you hate when you're about to say something and then it just completely goes off? Kind of like when you walk in a room to get something, like, wait, what I come in here for? I came in here to, and then you do something else, and then you're walking back and say, that ain't what I came in there for. I wasn't there to grab the, or does that just happen to me? Yeah, there they go, Susan. Tina, I'm ready to ride on over to your house and eat now. Oh, I know it does. And you know what? That's the thing. People are always gonna have something to say. You know what I mean? People are always gonna have something to say. And I've never lost a child, so I can never speak on that. My sister has. I've never lost a child, and I can't speak on that. But the thoughts of it would never make me disrespect anyone who lost a child. But at the same time, no one knows him but you. You knew him, and the people who knew him knew him. And so they can only speak and they represent him. And they're the ones that will keep his legacy, his life, his love, his light. You all keep it shining. None of the other people can. All they can do is try to dim you from showing his light. That's it. They can't take his light away. God gave him his light. It cannot be taken from people who never gave it to him. Period. Point blank. And his spirit is in your granddaughter, it's in his sister, it's in his brother, it's in you, it's in all of him. It's in everything he touched. His energy, his light, his love. And that's how it lives on. Like I said, I know people who have passed away and people never met them. And kids speak on them like they know them. Say, oh, my grandma loved that song. There go my grandma's favorite place to go eat breakfast. And you thinking to yourself, your grandma passed 6, 7 years before you was even born. But the reason that she's a light that you could speak on, like you know her personally, is because the lights around her that she put into, that she gave energy to, they keep her shining. It's like they say about the revolution. The revolution never dies, just the revolutionary. The people in the spirit never die. That can never die. That lives on and on and on, and it keeps replacing and entering and re-entering new spaces. That's what makes me spiritual, because I come from the spirit. Mims, what's up, sis? What's up? That's right. Oh, I'm coming. Where we going? Look. I'm coming. Where we going? Because I plan to get up close and personal with a lot of y'all and break some bread and have some laughter. Here's the thing: you don't never have to even be on video. It's how you just you bring yourself out and you bring out this energy. You bring it out. And I told you I've been in the dark so long. If you want me to stay in the dark with you, I don't got another 40 years. Hey, I'm gonna tell y'all, I was in the dark for 40 years. I don't got another 40 years, and not another 40. Even if I live another 40 years, I don't got another 40 years to just hang out in the dark. I don't got another 40 years to cry. I don't got another 40 years to be mad. I don't got another 40 years to be lonely. I don't got another 40 years to be angry. I don't got enough. I don't got. If you got it, that's good. But I ain't got it. I ain't got another 3. I ain't got another 5. I don't got another 2. Matter of fact, I ain't got another month. Even if I live, I don't got another month of that type of energy in my life. Mm-hmm. You at work, Tina? Okay, we understand. We know. We know. You gotta know how to do it right. Just like how men, sometimes you go to church with a man and he was fine in a way. I know men love having like earpods now because back in the day they was trying to find a way to listen to that game. Say, hold on, turn it on, put it on low. You thought they was getting excited in church. They started clapping. Yes, yes. So they wasn't talking to the Lord. They was talking about the Bears game. And he was talking about the White Sox game, the Bulls game. Because I know me with these earbuds, especially when your hair can cover them up, I'm everywhere listening to them. Everywhere. Somebody talking up a storm, and I'm deep in something else. Deep. Let me plug this phone in, honey, because I just had this feeling I'm be yiggity yagging and jiggity jagging, and this thing gonna just be like, all right, Danny, we're done. No one told you to get on here and talk. You were supposed to go on your, hey, Vicky, hey, sis. Guys, I hadn't even known until yesterday, and I feel so bad, sis. How could I not have known that Vicky has a channel? Vicky does have a channel. Vicky said she's going live on Thursday. You're going live on Thursday, and yesterday I heard you saying it was about some food, and I'm all in. You want to hear me come in the door? Turn on the stove. Thank you, Sophie, for coming to show love. Much love to you too. Sophie has a channel. Also, a lot of creators are in here. Terry Lynn, D, Vicky, Sophie is a creator. Anybody else I missed? But I tell you one thing, even if it's not, we all up in here as somebody's. Everybody is somebody. And here's the thing you got to know is even when you don't see it, you somebody. Somebody look at you in a way nobody else does. So every time you think about all the people that put you down, even if you believe it, even if it's what your mind started hearing so much that you say it yourself, you got to tell yourself that I'm somebody. And that somebody got to first be you. I'm myself. I got to be somebody to me. I have to be somebody to me. But yeah. Oh, look at it. It's 10:16. And here's the thing, y'all already know when you do the check-in at 11, they make sure they call in at 10:30. Like, just a reminder, check out to 11, so you need to go and check back in. But I already go down to them and be like, hey, I'll be down there about 10:45. But don't rush me. Don't rush me. Just let me do me. I'll be down, yeah. But I'm like I said, right, someone said food, I'm in the duck. As soon as they said, I'm like, wait, what? She said chicken noodles, I'm there. I'm there. She said mudbang, I'm there. She said soul food, I'm there. Wait, somebody just said food, I'm there. Desserts, I'm there. But yeah, guys, so like I said, I'm telling you, each day you got to find what it is you're happy about. Like Terry Linda said, Friday, your daughter's graduating, blessings to the kingdom that's yours. D, your grandbaby bring you joy, blessings. Gone John, your sister just came in town. We're really sorry, and we sending nothing but good vibes because you lost your auntie. But blessings, spend some time with your sister. Y'all need each other right now. Who else in here gave something else about what they was doing? Tina at work, blessings. You are employed. Blessings. Look at my alarm. Hold on, my alarm want to freeze everything. Oh man. See, my alarm just went off and it froze everything. Like I got a phone call. Ma'am, you just a chat to me. Period. Blessings. Harmony, I even see you here. Harmony, what's up, sis? What is up? You the shit too. Everybody in here. Everybody in here. G5. Oh, you already know. You already know. Recovery talk with Sophie. You already know. Like I said, and here's the thing. In our greatness, are we flawed? Hell yeah. If you're not flawed, damn, you a good cut daddy. But I'm flawed. I'm human. You know what I mean? I'm superhuman. So I'm flawed. I don't even worry about it. But my flaws is what helped make me a better person. It really does. It really does. Because when I'm going to correct things about me, I'm not worried about what you're doing. I'm worried about what I do. I'm worried about how I would act, what I would say. Stop charging this phone because at 10:30, y'all, I'm going down now. But yeah, see what my sisters are saying and my brothers. see the greatness of a woman. We can multitask, and I can still give 100 while I'm, doing two things. Oh, you were answering a coworker because Susan at work too. Susan. I could praise your name all day. I got your energy, your love, your spirit. You are a light. You are a light, and I know that you are a light everywhere you go. And see, that's what I'm trying to do. Shine a light. I'm trying to shine a light. Cause sometimes, you being so dark, you bring darkness. You come in the room, whole room lit, and you're like, huh, y'all show is. I used to tell people, I kid you not, it was a teacher at my school. Now, don't get me wrong, she smiled a little too much, but I used to think, why is she so happy? She making me mad how happy she is. How you getting mad because somebody happy? How you getting mad? But see, when you in that dark, honey, let me tell you, that makes sense to you that I'm mad that you happy. But like I said, in all the bad things that I've seen, I'm talking about before I was a creator, as I'm a creator, I really am blessed for the great creators, the great bonds I'm making, the great people I've come across, the great stories I've heard, the fact that I've been able to either pray for or send a good vibe to people because they were open enough in any place that I was in to express what was really going on in their life. Because I just believe if somebody's telling us, they're not just telling us so I can know. They're telling us because it's a cry for help. It's a cry for healing. It's a cry to get it out their system. It's to get it off their chest. It's just something just to be trusted enough like that. So when we go and take that and run with it, we wrong. So I'm thankful for the good things that come out of here. I'm thankful to even have a platform that, with the way my anxiety and everything else is set up, if I didn't, I'd probably be someplace else mentally. And that's the truth. I'm glad to see that the seed I am planting for my life is growing. And for that, I'm like, man, I got to grab the good. And so I'm definitely, definitely blessed. That's right, multitasking team. Oh, yeah, Susan. Susan, the queen of it. You remember she had them 4 babies, went right back to work. Can't nobody do it like Susan. I thought I was something because when I had my 3rd son, I was back at work in 2 days. But Susan showed up and showed out. She had babies and was back in work in 15 minutes. In 15 minutes flat. She wasn't even late for work that day. She can do that. That's what I'm talking about, boy. That's what I'm talking about. Superhero. Mm-hmm. Yes, he does. And then you know what else? Sometimes I used to literally say all the time, guys, everything I touch turned to mud. Everything I touch feels like it fails. Everything I touch seems like it's destroyed. I used to feel like that all the time. And then one day, I realized these blessings that not only did I have, that they wouldn't be here without me. They wouldn't be going on without me. And so that's why I said you have to grab your blessings. You have to grab your blessings. Right? She was chewing cords. I can't. She was chewing cords. Susan, 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 Susan. Hey guys, let me tell you something. I thank you all for the laugh. I told you all for 2022. One of the things I wanted to do is really laugh again. Not just laugh, y'all, but laugh again. But y'all already know from the different hurts that we've all experienced in life, sometimes we can smile, but nothing about us is happy. And we can laugh, but sometimes it even feel wrong to think it's funny because you thinking I shouldn't even be laughing right now because I'm too down or I'm homeless. Because you'll beat yourself up like that. Like, wait, because I'm homeless, I shouldn't laugh. But laughter gives life. Laughter feeds the soul. And so my soul is always hungry. And so is my stomach. No, they should. But yeah, guys, so I'm telling you, I thank you. I thank you all for coming in here and giving me some light and giving me some laughter. Because, like I said, it's easy for your brain to take you somewhere else. People always talk about trigger topics, but when you are, fight or flight, it's a lot of trigger words. Sometimes it's okay. You'll be fine. That could be a trigger word. It's not that bad. It's what you do, what you said. You be like, dang, so wait, them cussing my whole life out was for something I did? I guess I'm guilty. Oh, yeah. See, that's what God does, though, for all of us. He shows you. And sometimes he removes you from people because you aren't good with them. It ain't even them. So see, even in my way, sometimes I'd be like, oh yeah, thanks God for removing me from such and such because they ain't on shit. They messy. They did this. They be on that. But really, he removed me because what I was becoming, because what I did, because how I acted, because I had my guards all the way up here with them, and that's why I was bringing that energy out of them. It wasn't just them to me, it was me to them. That's the blessing. And the only time God moving you is when he telling you what you doing. God don't move. See, that's why when I'm in a church and they telling me how God done told them I'm this and God done told, let me tell you something. He gonna tell you about you. And if he giving you anything about somebody else, he's giving them what you gonna become because of them. What they gonna bring out of you. Sorry, that time I gotta cut it off, but I can't come off my live to cut it off. So it keeps coming up on the snooze. It's telling me, girl, go down there and pay these people. Uh, but I've learned that God does that for you. So he says, hey, wait a minute, Danny. Whenever you get around D, you always want to gangbang. That's bringing something out of you. And don't mean D did that to me, but he know what I'm becoming. So he gonna remove us from each other. And when he coming, he's removing you for you, because of you, because of where you at, because of where I see you going. And that's what I've learned. That's what I've learned. Because see, if he removed me because somebody else, he's gonna be removing me for the rest of my life. Because see, it's always something in the room that can pull you out. You could be in the store. There's somebody in that store say the wrong thing and have you in jail tonight. Tonight, not tomorrow, tonight. Tonight. Hey, let me tell you something, D. This is a fact. This is a fact. Even how I fell in love with you. Let me tell you something. I pray for everybody, and I don't even call my own name out in prayer. I don't ask God for anything for me. Because I feel like at the end of the night, he done way too much for me, and that I probably seem selfish. And I need to pray for myself. But see, I understand the power in prayer, and I just be like, man, that's what I tell people. I done prayed for my enemies many a night. Many a night. Then you think I was sitting around praying, oh, I pray, Lord, that tonight they have the best loving and their pockets overflow. No, I'm praying that I don't allow whatever it is in them to bring out the worst in me. I'm praying that whatever they need in peace, that just like you giving it to me, heal them somewhere. Take a little bit of that off of them so they could, man, because what they doing to themselves in the world is not good. I stay in the, now y'all, look, y'all don't get me in here deep. D, don't you get me in here going deep when I told you I gotta get down there and go pay. I gotta pay him. I don't want to pay him. But let me tell y'all something. If I sat down here until 11, y'all here knock at my door like I ain't paid these people $673 a week in the last 2 weeks, and I throw them another $673 today. But they'll come knock at this door. And check out at 11. Say, damn, can I get to 1101 to walk down there and pay? So, don't get me started, but I thank the Lord. That's it. You gotta ignore, because it's negative all day, every day. Every day. And one of the biggest negative places be in my head. I see somebody start thinking some negative shit. Y'all, they kicked me right out the studio. My phone rang and they said, girl, get on out of there. Get out the studio. Go pay your thing. So then knocking at your door, now you're cussing them out when you knew you should have been down there before 11 o'clock. I love you guys. Yes. And D, the fact that you even still believe in prayer means you're getting something out of prayer. That's what I had to learn. The fact that I even think it works still, it means I believe in it. It's been working for me too. You know what I mean? Favor ain't fair. I have to believe that. It ain't fair. But trust me, on them days, I don't know how I made it. I know I was carried. So whether I was carried through the energy from y'all or I was carried through God, because God put y'all in a place or put somebody in your space, I'm blessed for that. Forget all those who didn't and who did me wrong. I can't think about them. If one did me right, I'm blessed. But y'all, let me run down here because my phone's going to keep ringing until 11 o'clock. And I will come back live today. That is a fact, probably about 3. I don't know. I want to do an early good morning. Thank you all. Love you guys. Stay up. Have a good morning. I'm trying not to go get a third cup of coffee, y'all. But let me go down here because it's 10:32. I just want to get this over with. Get this out the way. Thank you. Love you, sis. Love you all. You know what I mean? Thank you. Thank you for your energy. Thank you for your words. Thank you for understanding that teenagers will have you on Snap. Thank you for respecting each other while up in here. Thank you for wearing a crown, ladies. It's hard. It's hard out here. And we all been fighting our whole lives. So what we know how to do is fight. You know what I mean? To fight, to defend. And I understand that. But I love you. And I love that y'all wear the crown in here. I love that everybody comes in here in peace. So have a good one. And I will get back to you out later.